I'm the best, I'm the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, I'm the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. For the back and they know I'm impressive. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking no from my boy heavy. I'm the best, and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water.
Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. They'll run left with Pollard. We'll get this up to about the 44. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And they needed to be because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
From the 44, Prescott. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Prescott. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a Caleb Evans. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 41. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. The drive will start with an option going left. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An excellent run of 22 yards on the keeper and also a first down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. The Vikings at 6-3 on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And the way they played last week defensively, when I watched the tape, I had to stop it a couple of times and count to make sure there were just 11 guys on their side of the field because they covered every angle and thoroughly shut down the other side. Hold them just 7 points total. They do that again, that'll get the job done one more time in a big way.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. Incomplete, right side to Cook. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Right back to Cook for another completion. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Newton, and he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. From the gun, here's Newton. Open man, it's Rager. He's got it. And all the way to the 2-yard line there. But McCarthy pretty decisive. He brings out that red challenge flag. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Cook is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Here's Newton. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Malik Hooker. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, what a response by that defensive unit, Charles, because they just saw their offense throw the interception. They come out there, not only get an interception of their own, but they take it back for the touchdown.
I won't sing it because no one wants to hear that, but perhaps an early case of anything you can do, I can do better between these defenses. A lot of people came to expect the offense to light this game up, but so far, the defenses are stealing the show.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got 2 division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
Play action, it's Newton. Under a heavy rush, rush, and down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. It would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, it's complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Here's Pollard again. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On the left side, Gallup's got it. Touchdown! Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys go up by 2 touchdowns. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Nwangu now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he just throws this one away. That was a bit strange, and here comes the flag. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. A shotgun snap for Newton. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield.
The Vikings 49-yard line.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Zadarius Smith able to get him down. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So a big return there, Charles, on what was a pretty dangerous throw to the outside.
It sure was, Brandon. That's the risk you run on a throw like this. If it's intercepted, a lot of times this is a pick 6. So good hustle to get back and get him down. But, boy, that's a throw you've really got to be sure of if you're going to work the perimeter of the field.
Finding Hockenson here on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
They'll run with Cook. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. He's going to get it again. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, tried his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. Cook is in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw is Prescott. And he comes back with 1 complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now on 4th down, Mike McCarthy will turn to his field goal unit. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Number
Yeah, he did not want to go down there as he carries tacklers for a solid gain of 9.
It's a gain of 9.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Off play action. Newton. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
It was starting to become a game for him to forget with the interceptions, but that's a step in the right direction. Not only did he choose to run it instead, but he saw the field well and made a nice pickup to get a new set of downs.
On first down, Newton. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. In the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
20.
Third and long, it's Newton.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play.
Nwangu now from his end zone.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Running on first down is Cook, but he didn't find much there. Calling a gain of 3, second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Newton to throw. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
This is Rager with it on the crossing pattern. And he will have a Vikings first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Micah Parsons picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Newton now to throw. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll try the middle with Cook. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 41, Newton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Newton now to throw. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 31-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's the option play now to the left. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Cook up the gut. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. That'll be complete to Cook. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. They snap it to Newton. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Not only is the slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a 4th down because it's a quick-hitting play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope. On 1st and 10, Newton. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
42 yards on the ground for him so far.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Taken down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It's 4th down. Greg Joseph for the Vikings field goal.
And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the right hash here should be an easy one. The kick by Joseph is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Third and long for Prescott. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Up the middle, Jones. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscle all over the field and getting pushed down it.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are right back in this football game.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be second in a couple.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
To throw again on 2nd down, Newton.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Damone Clark.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. The try here for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14.
Good. Makes the score Cowboys 24, Vikings 10.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Nwangu now from his end zone.
On the return. The Vikings take over first and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Malik Jefferson. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This to make it a 3-score game late. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and they were really helped by their defense.